dance, we go back to class.
I would not be who I am today without Detroit soul music. The Four Tops, the Funk Brothers, Chairman of the Board, James Jamerson Jr., Dennis Coffey, Lenny Pickett, Melvin Davis, Spider Turner, Pat Lewis, McKinley Jackson, Rob Carter, Turhan Earl Van Dyke Jr., Joey Kingfish. I mean, these are my heroes. And to do a record with them was a dream come true. And again, I would not be who I am today without Detroit soul music. And Detroit soul music would not be what it is without the Detroit public school system. So many of these guests went to DPS, and it means the world to me to be able to do a record with them, to be able to record music that I wrote for them and with them, and to give back to the school system that gave to me what really defines me.
I remember receiving an email from Drew Schultz about a project that he was working on, keeping the music programs alive in Detroit Public Schools. But I found this email very interesting because Drew was mentioning people I had known from back in the day. And I thought the project was very interesting because this is how I became who I am today through the Detroit Public School systems, through the music program.
When I heard about the project, I would be hard for me to fathom that someone wouldn't be intrigued by it that's from Detroit and a part of the Detroit fabric. And Drew did an excellent job of getting some of the most talented people in Detroit that are either still here or back here or were available at that point in time to do it.
Coming to Detroit for this event, it's like a homecoming, basically. A family reunion base of sorts. I hadn't seen these people in years. I mean, I got to see my family, and seeing most of the performers on this project was fantastic. And a few of them I had never met. This was right up my alley because I followed these guys' careers, such as Dennis Coffey, such as Jameson Jr. Spider Turner, come on, I grew up on that stuff.
Spider Turner, Melvin Davis, Pat Lewis, the Four Tops, Rob Carter. Anyway, I just thought it was a sensational cause, and I think it came together very well, and it was exciting. It was one of those events that you would like to remember the rest of your life because so many people you haven't seen in many, many years, you haven't worked with in many, many years, and you've often wondered about them, or you might hear about them or read about them, but you haven't actually been together. So it was like a homecoming almost, you know.
Well, the idea of having so many artists who have come together to share their gifts, and those gifts then being translated into gifts for new students, I think that there's a kind of synergy and excitement about that resonates with me. They're gifts of music that then translates into opportunities for students is the kind of project that we don't often have an opportunity to participate in, but it is one that is just so very powerful in its results and the implications of what it all means.
I went to Mumford and Pershing High.
I went to Keating in the 50s, and I was in the band. I played clarinet.
I went to Chadsey High.
I went to Mackenzie High School.
Well, I started at Sherrod Junior High School. That's when I first started. Picked up the trombone.
Well, my music teacher would call me to play a solo. Oh, my God. Then my sight reading was not the greatest. And he knew it, but he stayed with me. He saw something in me.
Practicing and music in general teaches you how to be responsible and teaches you how to stay the course, and certainly creates discipline. Without the discipline, you will never get there, whether it's studying or learning or graduating or anything like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I was a kid, man, I wouldn't dare go up on stage, man. I wouldn't go up on stage to talk, let alone to sing. Now you can't get me off of it, you know. It's just, it releases some of that scared, I can't do this kind of thing. You could do anything you want. It taught me that.
I was in grade school, my first performance. I came in class, I was singing. My social studies teacher, Mr. Bill Berry, heard me, and he thought he was going to shame me. He said, "Okay, Mr. Turner, I see you like to sing. You come and stand up in front of the class and sing to the whole class." And I did. And everybody clapped. And it was on from there. There was no turning back. He created a monster.
Oh, absolutely. It not only brings about confidence, but really it can kind of define you.
Anytime it helps a person's self-esteem or find themselves, then naturally you're going to correspond and interact with other people much better on a higher level. So definitely that.
It helps you to communicate, if you just listen.
In the music program at DPS, I learned teamwork. It was something I didn't know about. They taught me teamwork.
I think it's always good to learn how to play with an ensemble, because that's teamwork. And of course, one of the ultimate teams that I worked with was the Funk Brothers at Motown. That was all teamwork too,
I think every kid should experience the arts, because I think mentally it broadens them.
To help these kids, they need to know. They need to know that they do have something to offer, to even know that they have an imagination.
Oh, there's no doubt that music has an emotional impact on young people. Of course, it does on adults as well, but on young people in such a way that it gives them a level of energy and excitement that not many other things do so universally.
Well, I really couldn't think of a better way to assist children in their education, in their adolescent years and growing up, than through music. It's such a perfect thing, because it is such an important and involved part of their lives. So, for myself and the rest of the people involved in the project to be approaching it in that manner, I think is exceptional to do.
Well, the educational part of it was a nice thing to try to help benefit Detroit Public Schools and to really bring some focus into things that need to be done for the school. Whether it's not just the money, this could, maybe spark interest in other people to try to help the school. Because obviously, one thing can't help the school district, but if a lot of people catch on, and if it could sort of start a spark where, maybe someone else dedicates something to the school district, and maybe someone else does this, maybe someone else does that. But someone has to do it and has to get started. So that was, for me, a really cool thing that Drew was doing.
Again, when it comes down to it, I'm just a fan of the music, and I'm just a fan of these musicians. And by default, I'm a fan of the Detroit Public School System, because these musicians would not be who they are today without this school district that taught them so much. And it's the least I can do to give back to the city that gave so much to me.